What is good? I decided to read, and instead of poems, I'm here on Reddit, specifically relationship advice. Now, I figured this would be a juicy subreddit because there is a lot of different stories on here. They all are generally the same in the fact that someone has a problem, they want help fixing it. Now, I figured why not go ahead and read these and give some of my own advice and my own opinion, and then read the replies and see if my opinion aligns and whether I agree with others. So I just read this one, and it is a wow. I'll read it again, and then I'll just give my opinion on it. So, throwaway account, because this is pretty personal drama, and I don't want all my friends knowing about this just yet. I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years now, and he's been at his current job for a few years. Let's call it 3. We will call him Jake, and I've never met any of his coworkers until last night. But there's one in particular who we will call Amy. So we got Jake, her boyfriend, and Amy, the work coworker that he's working with, I guess. He sometimes does favors for her, fixing her car, going to her house to fix stuff around her house, etc. And I was never really concerned because he told me all his coworkers are a lot older than him. However, one night, while he was asleep, his guy friend kept blowing up his phone. So I answered to let him know Jake was sleeping, and so was I. So please stop calling. Anyways, before I put the phone down, I noticed 5 unread text notifications from Amy. I guess some of the spam notifications were from her. One of them said, "Great, Jake. Now everyone thinks we are bumping gums." Because I just don't want to say that word. Anyways, this really concerned me. So, the next day after Jake got home from work, I asked about it. He said that both him and Amy were late for work that morning, so everyone probably assumed that it was just a joke. Wait, let me read that correctly. He said that both him and Amy were late for work that morning, so everyone probably assumed that, but it was just a joke. I thought it was a weirdly unprofessional joke and expressed my discomfort. It's a valid feeling. He invited me to the bar with him and his coworkers that night, so I could meet her and see it was nothing to worry about. It did not soothe my nerves at all. Turns out Amy is not a lot older than him. She's only 3 years older and super pretty. The entire night she was all over him, touching him, leaning on him, putting his arms around him. I assume she meant putting her arms around him, and even kissed him on the cheek and acted like it was normal. They were constantly teasing each other in that middle schooler who doesn't know how to properly flirt yet kind of way. I mean, she told me all about how she loves him like a brother, and also told me she's had interminglings with half of their coworkers, and that she got the next morning off work because I won't even read this next part, but this is wild. Later on, she started crying and sobbing at the bar. Actual tears, probably because she's drunk, but because she's so lonely and wants someone to love her, and my boyfriend ended up having to comfort her. I am just unsure what to do or say. My boyfriend kept acting like this was normal, that he wasn't doing anything wrong by entertaining this behavior. I can ask him to cut her off. They're on the same unit and they have to work together. I literally do not know what to do about this, but I'm just disgusted knowing this has been going on these years that he's worked with her. How can I set boundaries when they're forced to be around each other all the time at work? I would say this one is pretty cut and dry. And first I'll give my perspective on what this would probably unfold as in my own relationship. First of all, I would never in my life get that close to a female coworker at work to where they're middle school flirting with each other. It's kind of crazy hearing that Amy is touching, leaning on, and putting her arms around your boyfriend right in front of you. And I know it's probably not that serious on paper, but there are these things called boundaries, which is the question that this person asked at the end. Yeah, there are these things called boundaries, and that is one of the things that I surely would not allow a woman to do, especially not time after time. You know, if it happens once, like, oh, hey, yo, chill. But you can tell she does that at least regularly. And even if she doesn't mean anything deeper than you probably think, I would say it's kind of crazy the fact that she does that at all. Honestly, my own advice would just be tell him you're uncomfortable with that. Tell him to stop. And that's pretty much the end of the conversation. Tell Jake to tell Amy to chill. Only working together, that's pretty much it. Like, seriously, they're co-workers. They don't have to stop being co-workers to stop flirting with each other. I mean, this is like, you guys are 23 and 25 years old. You are more than adults. You should be able to understand how boundaries work, especially Jake. I mean, dude, come on. We aren't kids. If your wife told you that she was uncomfortable with that, instead of saying, okay, babe, or baby, or whatever you would call her, instead of saying, okay, I'll stop, I appreciate you addressing this and telling me about it, you invited her out to meet Amy, which is crazy, by the way. I did not expect to read that part. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty much it, cut and dry. Either tell him to stop, because, yeah, it's obviously uncomfortable, or end it. And end it now. Because if your significant other is perfectly fine with women crossing boundaries like that, I would say that's the problem. What's gonna happen in 10 years when you have 2 kids and Jakey is off doing who knows what with who knows what? You know, it's like, don't like that. Let's see what the replies say. Your gut is working. None of that is normal coworker behavior, and it's okay to be disturbed. One small step, calmly tell them that you need a firm boundary. Like, none of this. I mean, this should just be like, this should just be like obvious. You shouldn't even have to talk about this one. I would never do an outside of work favor for basically anybody that didn't actually need it, but especially not a woman, because like she could just call a plumber or something. She needs her car fixed, go to a, you know, like, come on. But anyways, let's see. Ask him if he would like a male coworker hanging. Yeah, very true. Like, a lot of people don't realize that something's not okay until they have it done to them. You just tell him what's okay and what's not okay. If he can't respect that, then he's not for you. Yeah, this one's pretty cut and dry. Pretty simple, not gonna lie. Bro, this is... Am I, like, right? Like, this story's crazy. Like, it seems very childish, this story. But the op replied, yeah, I was literally in shock at the bar about how blatant it all was. No one else reacted to it. They all acted like it was normal, so I was just sitting there in disbelief. Yeah, people are crazy. That's pretty much all you have to say about that. People are crazy. Jeez. I don't know if it's over for me, but if my partner didn't see a problem with this behavior, I'd be pretty red flagged out. Yeah, like I said, this is all common sense. There's no way Jake should be letting her do this, even if she didn't have a problem with it. Like, I have a problem with it. I would not, I've never gotten this close to a woman, even outside of a relationship, unless it was like, actually leading to one. Like, I've never been this close to a woman where no, this is weird. I'm not doing that. Chill out. You know? But, I don't know, man. If people are really going through this in their day-to-day life, I mean, like, what is their actual life like outside of a relationship? You did not have to come to Reddit for this. This is some mind-boggling puzzle to solve. This is just, hey, you're doing something I don't like, stop it or it's over. Like, that's pretty much it. But I'm just gonna read this first one and end it here because I edit my own videos and I work so much, so I don't have time to edit so many videos. especially not really long ones. But anyways, I'm gonna end it here. If you liked this kind of video idea, then let me know. I'm probably gonna keep doing this anyways, just because I enjoy reading these and giving my opinion. I'm probably gonna read 2 or 3 or maybe 4 a video. I don't know. There is no set plan for me, obviously, if you watched any of the other videos on this channel. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy. I'll see you in the next one.